and welcome back to another episode of That's So Matthew. Today, I am so excited to have an amazing guest talking about an amazing movie. So introduce yourself and what we'll be talking about today.
Hi, my name is Taylor from That's the Tea podcast, and today we're going to be talking about the Princess Diaries 2.
Yes, I am so excited to have Taylor on the podcast. We have been in the works for a collab for quite some time.
A minute.
But, I think that this is the perfect opportunity, the perfect movie to talk about.
Same. I'm excited.
And like I was just telling Taylor, I had never seen this movie before I decided to cover them on the podcast, which is so fake of me.
It's so fake. I'm honestly so surprised because you love all the nostalgic, this kind of era movie. So I was not expecting that from you.
Yeah, I know. When I told my Princess Diaries guest the same thing, she was shook to the core.
No, I am shook.
But better late than never.
100%.
Yeah, and I've watched it twice in preparation for today's episode. So
you had to make up for lost time.
Yeah, exactly. So I just want to say that this movie is quite a ride. I was not expecting this out of the second movie, after the first one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a departure.
It is totally different.
I don't know, if I love it, more or I don't. I'm so, shook. I don't know what to say.
No, I felt the same way, rewatching, because I haven't seen them in, I don't know how long, 15 years. No, 10 years probably. And I was just I forgot all about this.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And I was kind of reading into this because the first one's based off of the books, and this is not based off of any of the books.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I feel like it feels original. It feels more a departure, like I said, from the first one.
Yeah, I agree.
I am very excited, though, because Anne Hathaway, Julie Andrews, we just have to get right into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
So this came out in 2004, which is very exciting. It was actually it came out 1 month before I was born.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy.
Yeah, so not you probably are feeling old, but
just a little bit, but that's kind of what I expected, so it's okay. I was prepared for that.
Yeah, no.
I was literally 7.
Oh yeah. It feels also the fact that it came out in August. This is such a weird comment, but it feels like an August movie. It feels end of the summer, hurrah.
I couldn't agree more. She was born at the end of summer. I'm a summer baby too. I just felt it.
Yeah, no. August 11th, 2004. And it is also kind of felt a little long. It felt longer than the first movie. I'm not sure if it is.
Yeah, I think they're both about the same length just because I watched both of them to prepare for this. But I don't know. They felt longer because usually for these kind of movies, I feel they're usually an hour and a half or so. But this one was a full 2 hours.
Yeah. And also the fact that you watch both of them is so exciting. You came prepared.
Of course I did. Are you kidding me? It was 2 nights ago. I watched the first one. Last night I watched the second one. I had to be in the Genovia mindset.
Oh my gosh, yes. Genovia also iconic in this movie. We finally get to see Genovia, and it is magical.
It lives up to my expectations.
Yeah, it really does. I was saying in the first one, I would love to have seen Genovia, but then guess what? We got to see Genovia in the second one.
Thank you.
Yeah, obsessed. So first off, I think we just need to talk about this movie. Overall plot. It's called Princess Diaries 2, The Royal Engagement. So obviously there's going to be some love, some engagement going on. And I was expecting this to be a true love story.
I mean, same. I feel I was just waiting for it, even though I knew how it came out. You're just waiting for it to be a more of a romance movie than the first one. And it just wasn't that.
It wasn't. No, it was such a different vibe than I was anticipating.
Agreed.
The whole movie is kind of based around Mia not going to become queen. She doesn't want to. She is this is happening.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want to get married pretty much, but then she falls for this guy, and then he ends up being this character.
Mm-hmm.
And then it ends in a wedding, which I just wanted to say my jaw was on the floor.
A surprise wedding.
My jaw was on the floor. Like I was shook. Like I did not know what to say. But yeah, so I think first off, Mia's character in this movie is very different than the first movie.
Very different, much more mature. She's like a whole different Mia.
Yeah, and I love it. Like I'm so here for it. Like the first movie, don't get me wrong, Nerdy Mia was definitely something.
She's an icon.
She is, but I think that princess slash queen Mia is even more of an icon.
I agree. Like in the first one, I loved her like quirkiness and all that. But in the second one, she's just so much more mature and she's grown up and she has her like prim and proper side. And obviously, she still is like clumsy and we love her for that. But I don't know. I just feel like she had so much more growth in this one. And I don't know. It was nice to see.
It was. And I also like her little fling with our little boy Nick.
Loved.
Yeah. I just want to talk about that one scene with the boat.
Mm,
What was
so
that?
good.
It
Like,
was so it was
I mean,
different.
that was definitely a departure from the first one. But I just don't mind any scene with him in it. So
I feel
I
like
appre-
he is like the stud of the hour in this movie.
I agree. I remembered that he was in it, but then rewatching it, I was like, okay, Chris Pine, thank you for your service.
Yeah, no, he was not just delivering for me. I think he was delivering for like every single person watching this movie.
100%.
Like it was very interesting. But
Yeah.
Mia, I also like kind of like that she is gonna get married, even though she doesn't really want to. But then in the end, she's like, yeah, we're not getting married.
Yeah. And like, I just feel like the whole movie could have been over in the first scene when she realizes that they're saying she has to get married if she, followed through on what happened at the end.
Yeah, I was kind of like, oh, so you don't want to get married, but you're gonna do it anyways. That was like my one thing that I like not sure I felt.
Same. It was weird. And even like she thought it, her grandma thought it, everyone around her kind of thought it, but they were all just like, yeah, let's go along with it.
Yeah, but the end. So this is kind of a spoiler alert, but if you're listening to this and you haven't already seen it, like, what are you doing?
Exactly.
But when she's like, I'm going to abolish this law that I have to get married to become queen, I was like, okay, queen, pop off.
Pop off. So ahead of its time, also. Like,
It really was. Like, I was genuinely like, when they were showing like all of the kings and like her father, and then she's like, I'm
mm,
going to be up there next to him. I was like, yes, you are.
yes, queen, literal queen.
Literally, I was just obsessed with like her and I like her growth. And at the end, I was here for like the let's abolish this
Me too.
and the surprise wedding, which we're going to get to in just a hot second.
Yes.
So obviously, Queen Clarice, Julie Andrews is back and honestly, better than ever.
Agreed. She's in her zone this time. Last time she was in San Francisco. This time we got to see her in her own castle in Genovia, and it was just chef's kiss.
It really was. I obviously am obsessed with Julie Andrews. Like, I don't know who isn't. But she in this movie is very, very different, but I like what's going on. Like, we're about to see her like step down as queen. She's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like going through this little like what's gonna happen.
Yep.
And at the end, she finds something that happens, which I was so shook about. She ends up, she's the one that gets married, everyone. Like,
Crazy.
and then the bishop was like not even surprised. He was like, we've been waiting.
Yeah, I was, you know what? That was actually the most surprising because yes, they've been teasing us with their like little story for a while, but even by the end of the second movie, we've only seen them really dance and talk to each other. So I feel like I don't know, if you were in that church, wouldn't I expected more people to just be like, "What is going on?" But no one really was.
Yeah. And also the fact that she was the one who proposed.
I mean, again, ahead of its time, iconic.
No, I was really here for it. Like, I loved her in the first movie, but like second movie,
She shined. Like,
this was her time. Like, you're right. This was her element, the castle, Genovia, everything. And I think that it helped. And she was also like kind of a weird like mother figure to Mia, even though she was in the first movie. I feel like this one had a different dynamic.
Yeah, I agree. They were much more like comfortable with each other. She acted way more like her mom and her grandma than in the first one. And her mom was barely even in this one because she was pregnant,
Yeah, that was something I was not expecting.
right? Like, kind of random.
It's like, oh, you can't be here for all the shooting days. How do we get rid of you?
No, literally, that's what happened.
It was a choice, for sure. And up next we have Joe, which obviously we just talked about. He ends up getting married, which is good for Joe. Good for
We
Joe.
stan Joe.
We I always was obsessed with Joe. Like the first movie, loved the vibe. The second movie, we got to see him finally like get his moment.
Yes, he got his moment and it was worth it.
Yeah, and like marriage is a big step. Like in the first movie, they had that little flirty scene with like the black dress or whatever they said. I don't remember it.
Yes.
But then like this was like their moment.
And he just was so like quick to marry her right on the spot. Just open to it,
That
loved
that
it.
it's real then.
Oh, of course. I like still in my mind see them together, even though I know it's a movie and it was, 20 years ago.
Yeah, unfortunately. Because it is really cute. I definitely agree. Lily is back in this movie, which I was almost not expecting. To be
I
honest,
know when
I
she
thought
popped
Lily
out of the
was
closet.
done. Yeah, I thought Lily was done. No, Lily was not done. Lily, in the first movie, I liked her, but I'm not sure like she was my favorite. Even in this
Agreed.
movie, I think she's more of just like that like side character there to like provide relief. But at least
Hmm.
we saw something of her in this movie.
Yeah, I agree. The first one, she's kind of annoying. She's like more annoying best friend. And this one, she's just like, who do you want me to get rid of? I will be your best friend. I'm the supporting character. Like, what do you want me to do? And I love that for her.
Yeah, it's the duo that like we knew we needed, but like this movie was like what we didn't know we needed.
Yeah. And I feel like in the first one, obviously she's kind of like the next person after Mia that we're seeing so much of. And then for that, she kind of gets annoying and, she has her own moment, whatever. But in the second one, she's not really around as much. So she's just less annoying and she's a better friend, I think. And I also loved her little side plot of her and that guard like flirting. I loved that.
I was gonna say the guard like flirty thing was cute. And you're right. The first movie, she was more annoying, but like in this one, she's not like as prominent. So it's like she can't be as annoying.
Yeah, it was like the perfect dose of Lily to not make us get annoyed with her.
Yeah. And then that little shot at the end of her, I was like, yeah. And they're like happy, like surprise besties. Like
Yes.
I was here for it.
Same.
But definitely was not expecting her to be back, but she was. So I'll take it. Up next, obviously, Nick, Chris Pine.
Oh, where do we begin?
I don't know. I at first was a little skeptical of this man. Obviously, it's Chris Pine. Like, I was a little skeptical, like, what are your motives? Like,
Same. And even though I've seen it, I still kind of forgot because I knew that his uncle was kind of the bad guy. And I was like, I don't remember if he's a good guy or if he's a bad guy.
it was a mix for
It was
sure.
a mix.
That one scene where they like fall asleep by the boat and then they wake up and then she's like accusing him of like getting footage. Like I was
Ugh,
like, that is
low blow.
that was no, it was lower than low.
Yeah.
But I was like, I was not expecting this. Like this was a turn of events.
Yeah. And I'm happy that it turned out the way it did.
Yeah, and then in the end, obviously, we need to have some like happy like ending, obviously. Like that is just a no-brainer. It's Disney, it's Princess Diaries. So basically, Joe is like, yeah, Nick is innocent, and then he ends up like reappearing and all that good stuff. And then he, comes to the coronation and they do make up and they make out and make up.
Thank God.
Yeah. I was not expecting them to like have their moment. I thought like when she was like, I want to get rid of this thing to get married, like that it was the end for him.
Yeah, I did too. I completely forgot, but I'm kind of happy that we just got a little taste of it because I don't know. I feel like we did like most of the movie is not a romantic like romance movie, but then we just got a little bit and it was nice. It wasn't overbearing. I don't know. It was so good. And then obviously I just felt so bad for that other guy Andrew, but also he felt the same way that she did. So
Yeah, I'll like the ending. Like, I'm glad that they didn't get married. That's like my hot take
I
of
no,
this
I
movie.
agree.
Like, that would have just been too much. Like,
It
if
would
like that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. I literally was thinking the same thing. Like even at the start of the movie before we even met Nick and Andrew, I think. Before we even met them, I was like, okay, she's 21. That is so young to be forcing a marriage. I don't want it to happen regardless of who it's with.
Yeah, I really just did not want her to get married. Like, I wanted there to be like a dramatic breakup, and there kind of was.
There kind of was.
Yeah, no, I was here for it though. And
The
you're right,
breakup on the
Andrew.
altar.
Yeah, the that would have been like even better.
Yeah,
Like, they're like at the very end, like they're like about to like break up, like while they're getting married. Like, that
literally.
I would have been okay with that. Like, that's my hot take, but like I stand by it.
I am I am in agreement.
Yeah. Also, can we talk about Raven Simone?
I completely forgot she was in this movie. And when she showed up, I think I was like looking at my phone for a second and I heard her voice and I was like, that is Raven. I look up and there she is. I was like, oh my God. I completely forgot she was in this movie. She's another princess.
Yeah. I was shook. Like, I knew that she had a sound, like a song on the soundtrack. I'm pretty sure she does. But
Yeah.
when she came on the screen, I was like,
Mm-hmm. Same. My jaw was on the floor.
no. Like, Raven in Princess Diaries was not something I knew I needed, but I'm so happy. And also the little outfit that she's wearing,
Oh my God. I can't.
it's very interesting. And it's also like we have no idea like how they really like came to be. Like, it was a really interesting role that we didn't get too much of, but
Nope.
it's Raven, so we can forgive it. But it was like they're like just friends, like, and that was like it. Like, we didn't really see much.
And they were like best friend, not best friends, but when they hugged each other in the beginning, that was a hug of like a really good friend. They squealed when they saw each other and they gave each other a big hug.
Yeah, no, they definitely were like besties for the resties that like haven't seen each other in like a hot sec.
Yep. And I loved it. There were,
No.
speaking of Raven though, like, and we were both being surprised by it. There was a few shocking cameos that were in this movie.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay, besides Raven, the next one would be Abigail Breslin as a little child, as the girl.
Yeah, the little child, that storyline was interesting. I was gonna talk about that. It was a weird thing for me.
It was weird, but like I kind of loved it.
No, I loved it. I just like did not like expect that. And like the little party was definitely like cute, and they're like sliding down the stairs. And then at the end, the final shot is like the dog sliding down.
That was great.
I was no, I was here for it. And Abigail Breslin as the child, I think was like a good choice, because also like for some, like if you're not like really into it, I feel like you wouldn't notice that it was her.
No. And then I think you like Marvel, don't you?
I do.
Did you notice who was in it?
No.
Stan Lee made a cameo at the end of the movie, and I was like, I feel like I'm watching a Marvel movie with the Stan Lee
How did I
cameo.
miss Stan Lee?
He was I don't remember. It was when they were at the like wedding court, or I think they were at the wedding, not the coronation, and someone, I think it's Julie Andrews, is like talking to him, and he was like another prince or kid, I don't know, and he was there. My jaw was on. I'm like I really hope it was him. No, it was definitely him. And I was like, what the hell is Stan Lee doing in the Princess Diaries?
No, because I did not even notice. Like, I feel so fake. Oh wait, I love how I look up Stanley Princess Diaries and it does come up. Like,
Oh, okay. So it was 100% him, right?
it was. I'm on this website and it's like, why does Stanley make a cameo in the Princess Diaries?
Wait, is there an answer? Because I'm curious. I was thinking the same thing.
It doesn't really say. Wait, let me scroll down. There's a lot of like things.
Oh,
He has a personal connection to the projects in which he makes an appearance.
hmm.
And so they just he might have had a connection with someone on the cast or crew, but there's no obvious connection, according to
Okay.
this expert answerer.
Yeah, so I was like really shocked by that one.
Yeah, no, I am so sad I missed it. Like I might have, and I watched it 2 times. Like imagine how fake I am. Like
So fake.
yeah, definitely will be going back and rewatching that scene after this because
You have to.
I have to. Um, okay, the Lord Polymore guy. I don't even think I said that right. Whoa.
Nick, wait, are we talking about Nick's? I forget his name. Nick's
Yeah,
uncle? Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Okay, that was like his name. Like that's like because I like wrote all the characters' names down so I didn't forget them. Because
Oh,
like
honestly, I didn't even know his name. I just knew him as like the
yeah,
bad guy.
so evil uncle guy uh is a villain choice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always here for a good villain. Don't get me wrong, but like I'm not sure that he was the best villain.
I agree. And also, he really didn't have any like motive. He just
Y-
wanted his nephew to be king, but what does that really have to do with him? Nothing.
Yeah, it really has nothing to do with him. And like I just had no like want to see him.
I had no want to see him, honestly. And you know what? I had no want to see his dirty feet when they were washing them in that scene. No need
I
for
was
that.
so like taken aback by that scene. Like sometimes I forget that this is like a real movie and like not like just a random like because it does give that those decom vibes.
It gives strong decom vibes.
And I'm like, wait, this actually wasn't a decom. Like they're actually taking some suggestive choices, like the feet.
The feet, like, no need for that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was like our main villain, and I'm honestly upset about it because I feel like it could have been better.
I agree. He could have been more villainous. He could have been not in it at all. Like, it could have gone either way.
I think that like we should have just like gotten an actual villain.
Yeah, same.
And also like the whole like the wigs, like the judge wigs that they like all put on at the end are so funny to
They're
me.
so funny. Like, that was a choice.
It really was like one of the last scenes is them literally all putting on their little like judge wigs.
I loved it because if you notice at the end, they were like all women putting them on.
Yeah, why are they like, putting them on? Like
Mia
just
was
curl your
making,
hair.
yeah.
Like
Oh my God.
yeah, choices were made for sure.
Choices were made. And that's all we have to say about the wigs.
Yeah. That's about like I think our main characters. Like obviously we're gonna like break it down a little bit more when we get to the official plot.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to say that this movie had another epic soundtrack. Like
So good.
the original was good, but like how could we forget this one?
The original was good. After I watched that, obviously I couldn't stop listening to that song. Why can't I think of it now? What's that song?
Um
Miracles Happen?
oh yeah, miracles
Yes.
happen.
I couldn't stop listening to that song. And then last night when I was watching this, Breakaway by Kelly Clarkson was just came on at the right part and it sounded so good.
No, because I'm in my Kelly Clarkson era right now, and I don't know why. Like Spotify, like recommended her album from 2009, like All I Ever Wanted, and I'm not gonna lie, I had never like fully listened to it, so I literally listened to it, and now I'm obsessed with Kelly Clarkson.
Wow, I should go listen to that album. Definitely haven't listened in full, but like she is a certified bop master.
No, and then when she came up in this movie, I was like, Kelly.
Same. It's like, yes, Breakaway.
And like Raven Simone, obviously, her song "This Is My Time," Avril Lavigne, Pink, like there are bops in this movie, and you know what? I will be talking about it for years to come.
I as you should.
Yeah, I mean, as like obviously this movie came out like 18 years ago, and we're still talking about it. So
You just can't let a good thing die. You just have to keep bringing it up and keep
yeah,
talking about it.
we do, and yeah. So this soundtrack, iconic, obsessed. Yeah, honestly, let's get into the plot because I think that there's a lot to talk about because
Let's do it.
it takes place after a little bit of a time jump. I'm not sure if it specifically tells us. I'd say like 4 or 5 years.
I think it was like, yeah, or because in the first one, she was celebrating her 16th birthday. Yeah, so it's like 5 years because now she's 21, right?
Yeah, she's 21 because she's gonna become queen and just get married. But
Queen.
yeah. So 5 years later, she graduates from Princeton University. Like, go you.
Go Mia.
Go you. Obsessed. Like, Princeton is very like it's an Ivy League school, which obviously is a big thing. And like I feel like every single Disney like movie, they always go to an Ivy League.
Oh yeah, and they like don't even do their homework, but they end up at an Ivy League school.
Yeah, literally, that is exactly what happens. And so they have this cute little graduation scene, which I was very intrigued by.
Yeah, same.
It was definitely out of place a little bit because it's like the last scene that takes place that's not in Genovia.
Yeah.
It was okay. Like,
It gave nothing.
but
I just served us like what time of, her life it was. But other than that, it served no purpose.
yeah, pretty much that's about it. And so she returns to Genovia, which is super exciting because we've never seen Genovia in this little film world, and now we're in Genovia.
Thank God.
Finally, like I really was expecting it in the first movie, and I was a little disappointed.
I thought that in the first, I mean, we saw just the castle at the very end of the first one,
Yeah.
but I thought that we had gotten more, but I was disappointed that we didn't.
But it makes up for in this movie.
Totally.
And so I don't really like this part of the movie where it's like she has to dance with all of like the people at her birthday party. Like that is so weird.
So lame.
Like I was so uninto it. I was like, this is such a weird like kingdom rule. Like
Same. Honestly, for that scene, I was kind of on my phone and I was like, oh, I know this is a good movie, but this scene I'm just not into. Like, ooh.
yeah, I was also on my phone at this point. I think both times. Like that's so bad, but like
it just does nothing.
it really did. And obviously, like I have to like come up with like some promotion for this movie. And also for anyone who got my little hint of like I was so excited to record that episode, and that's the tea. Like, I love you forever.
I mean, same. I saw that and I was like, yes.
Yeah, I might just be doing that for all my new episodes because I love the little like hints.
I think you should.
Like, I have even some more coming tomorrow for my next other episodes. So like everyone is just you're gonna be obsessed.
I love it.
I am Taylor Swift now.
Oh, I mean, same. I just got my red cardigan in the mail the other day. I'm so happy.
My sister got hers like a couple weeks ago, and I still have yet to get my red sweatshirt. But I did get my folklore merch that I bought on the Black Friday sale for half price.
Okay, we love that.
Yeah, saving money, but I was like, I was a little disappointed by it, TBH.
Oh,
so I'm hoping the red is better.
Let's hope the red makes up for it. Fingers crossed.
Maybe hope so because great album. I'm hoping great merch.
One can only hope.
Yeah. So yeah, little Taylor Swift rant. I don't know what else you guys expected from me. Like,
yeah, same.
So they introduce us to Nicholas, who's like this like dashing prince. Everyone's obsessed with him.
Dashing was the perfect word, by the way.
Yeah, thank you to the synopsis for that word.
I was ready to give you full credit.
Yeah, I'm not that smart, but like I'll like take this semi compliment.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So, and obviously because he's like the it prince and she's the princess, they start falling for each other like right away. Like right away. Love at first sight is happening in this movie. It is a lot. And so, however, it gets really like spicy here because the tiara like randomly falls off her head at this point.
And also, like when I was watching that, what server is carrying their tray that high that it was knocked off her crown? Like she's not that short,
Yeah, he was like carrying that tray. Like I was really
it was a reach.
It was. I feel like all of like these scenarios are always a reach, but like this one was the biggest reach.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
And so we have this little parliament session, and the parliament sessions just keep coming throughout this movie, which is definitely something that I was not expecting, but like they're in a kingdom, so it makes sense.
Yeah, you know what that like parliament scene room reminded me of? The I don't know the name of it, but like the council in Halloween Town, like 2 or 3. I was like, this is literally them.
No, that's what I was thinking because I remember I know it's in either 2 or 3 and I don't remember because it's been a hot second, but in my episode, because I've covered all of them, I did say something about the council because I was like so weirded out. I was like, what is going on? And
That's
this is
so
the same
funny.
vibe. This is the same vibe.
Same vibe.
No, literally the same thing. And so we have like the Lord Devereaux guy, and he's like, you're the next male heir to the throne, but like, what about the female heir?
Yeah. She's next in line.
Yeah. There was definitely a little bit of like gender discrimination on this parliament, and I wasn't here for
Totally.
it. Um, and so it is a lot because the person that is like the next male is like Nick.
And we still don't know that at this point.
Yeah. Once it was revealed, I was kind of because here's my point. Like, I don't know if you agree, but like if like his goal was to like marry Mia, like he's not getting any farther in line for the throne. Like he's technically not ever going to be in line then.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of stupid.
I was like, okay, because I went through my like British like royalty like phase like last year. So I did all the research and like it's not helping. Like
No,
it's not gonna make you king.
no, it's not.
And also the little Prince William cameo like on the slideshow.
I thought the same thing. Wait, I'm laughing because I literally like wrote notes in my phone just to like remember. And I literally wrote the Prince William cameo made me laugh. I loved it.
Yeah. And she was like, oh, what about him? And then she was like, oh, he's already in line or something like that.
Yeah, they're like, he's already going to be king next.
Yeah, it was definitely a choice.
Also, that was for sure Prince William's peak. They got him at the best time.
But like also
movie.
he's not next in line though.
Yeah. Well, technically no, but like realistically, yeah.
Realistically, probably, but like, isn't there's like that Charles dude or whatever?
His dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I went through my whole like my whole like queen phase. So like I know this. So yeah, it's very interesting. But then Lily comes out of nowhere.
She comes out of the closet. That's for sure.
It was so random. Like, how did she get there? Like, what's the story?
How long was she hiding in that trapped closet door for?
Yeah, how long was she waiting for like Mia to just like come? Like, there's so many questions that I have.
Me too, like logistics wise.
Yeah, but it happens. And so this is I actually kind of jumped the gun because I think this is when they look through the potential like people and Prince William's on there.
Yes. Because
Like,
Lily's there.
I jumped just a little bit. Sorry, everyone, you know, scatterbrain, but like
Can't help it.
it's also like Prince William, which was the most random like thing of this entire movie. So,
Another
like,
random cameo.
I had to talk about it. And so it is a lot because Mia chooses Andrew.
Was a good choice from what she was given.
It was a safe choice.
Safe. That's exactly it.
And it was not what I was expecting. I feel like I've said that like so many times, but like there was so many twists in this movie.
There kind of were like low-key twists.
Yeah. So Andrew, that's like that was her choice. Okay, I respect it.
I respect it.
So, however, Nicholas is still in the picture, and like they had a connection, like they had a bond. So basically, the goal is, I can't even say this with a straight face because I was so like shocked that this was a Disney movie that he needs to like seduce her.
Literally.
That's literally the plot.
That is the plot, basically.
And it is a lot. However, it was just kind of a miss.
It was kind of a miss. You know what else was a miss? Them getting engaged on like the third date.
Yeah. Why do
spoiler alert
people need to like do this? Like
listen, I know again, it's a Disney movie. This was the whole point of the movie, but that just didn't hit for me.
No, I wasn't a fan. I will definitely agree with you on that one. It's just not for me. But we also have another love blossoming. The Queen and Joe.
The one that we should have gotten a storyline for.
Yeah, can like I know that like they wouldn't have made the whole movie about them, but like they could have.
They could have totally done a spin-off movie. I would have loved that.
Yeah, I actually think that my guest Allison said that in the first one too. So like everyone agrees that we should have got it like a
We were
spin-off.
gypped.
We were. I will for sure like back that movement up. But like the thing that gets really weird is it's like we kind of like see this whole like Queen Mia, like I'm not ready, like I'm inexperienced. I don't know what's going on.
Spot on.
Like that is my reaction of like the next couple minutes of this movie because Mia does not know like what's happening at all. But it's like, oh, I need to get married because I need to become queen.
And I have to. And I'm going to marry this guy who I have no interest in.
Yeah, I did not like that. Did not
Same.
like that. Um, then she like, there's like this whole thing with the rubber like snake.
So silly, but like kind of a great scene.
Yeah, it was like unexpectedly great.
The thing that made it great about that was two things. It was the after. It was one, Chris Pine coming in to comfort her, which was just like made me swoon a little. Like I would have totally fell for that if I were her.
Yeah.
And two, Joseph being a straight savage to the uncle about the snake and giving it back to him. That was what made the whole thing.
Yeah, it was just a little like cutesy little like fun scene to add some drama and it delivered. And so after that, they have this little party and it's like in a garden or something like that.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. I'm excited to talk about this.
Yeah. Do you want to like take the lead on this one?
No, I just feel like I made such a spot on connection that I hope that you appreciate. So when I was watching it, obviously, like it was a beautiful party. We were getting all the, Genovia garden scenes. Love that. Andrew is there with Mia, and then Nicholas comes with some date, whatever. And then Nicholas and Mia go off to chat and talk about how much they hate each other and / love each other. And the like I loathe you scene when they, right before they fall into the fountain is literally almost exactly the same as the I hate you more Zac Efron, Ashley Tisdale scene from The Sweet Life when they kiss.
That's what I was thinking.
It was exactly the same.
It's like, oh wait, I love you, but I hate you. I love to hate you. And then it's like, cute.
Let's make out.
What? Like how does that even progress? Like
enemies to lovers right there.
Yeah, no, this was an enemies to lovers moment. And we also see this little like independence parade coming up. This was when things like took a turn for me. Like I was like kind of like getting this like really like romantic, like who am I going to choose vibe? But then it's like, wait, never mind. Let's bring in children.
Yeah. Oh, kind of loved that.
No, I did. And so Mia goes up to this little girl and she like the little girl introduces her to all these other kids that are like orphans. And then she gives them all little like crowns and tiaras. And then they walk in the parade. However, I don't know what his name is. I think it's like Mabry or whatever is like, this is all for her like looks or something.
Yeah. He was like, this is disgusting. I was like, oh, they're orphans. Relax.
Yeah. Like I literally thought this was like the cutest scene ever.
Same.
And like, oh, we can't forget the slumber party scene. Like,
okay. So again, back to my notes. I literally wrote, and this is exactly how I feel, that the mattress surfing scene was an integral part of my childhood. Like I remember that so vividly. I remember because I was like 7 when this came out. Everyone wanted to do that. Like that was something that everyone like just idolized in a way. And that was just so iconic. And closing it out with Julie Andrews surfing standing up on the mattress was just couldn't have asked for anything better.
No, it really was a risk. Like I'm not sure I would stand up, but go Julie Andrews for doing that.
Go Julie Andrews. That was everything.
No, and like it comes back at the end, which I thought was like a cute little tie-in. Like this whole slumber party scene is like it's really cute. And so they just like are just mattress surfing down the stairs. They're like having the time of their life. Um, but it kind of like takes a turn because like obviously we're having a great time, but Nick needs to like come back and like do his like dirty work. And so we have like it's like, oh, like you can't like take the throne away from Mia. And he's like starting to like make like excuses for
Yeah,
himself.
which we don't like.
No, I did not like this part personally. Um and then it's like, "Oh wait, you're falling for her." Well, no shit.
Yeah, no shit.
Like I don't know what else like they were expecting. Like it's like Anne Hathaway like amazingly pretty and then you put like hot prince like
Duh, magnetic.
yeah, I don't know what else they were expecting, but it's like, oh my gosh, like how could you do this? And so we have like this really like weird housekeeper scene, like with the
Oh
housekeepers, like there's
yeah.
many of them. Like I just thought that was like kind of funny. Like it was a cute little like add-in.
I agree. I'm glad you said that because I was like, it could go either way where it was like cute or corny, but I loved it. They were just the comic relief of the movie and it made me laugh.
They really were, and I did enjoy that. And so it just gets like continuously worse because like Nick is like just trying to get at Mia, like, oh, like I'm gonna leave and can I please see you like one last time? And it's like, no.
And she falls for it.
Yeah, she does. Personally, I would have been like, no, go away.
I would have tried, but it's Chris Pine. It might be hard. I don't know.
Yeah, agreed. But like, really, like, dude, like, come on, you can do better than this. Like,
Grow up.
yeah, exactly. Grow up. He was definitely like a man child. Can we just talk about that? Like, he was a man child.
Yeah, he was such a man child. Like, I don't even know how else to describe it.
Yeah, it's just it's really weird. And this is where we get to the lake scene because we have Mia like outside her window, like sneaking out, and they go to the lake and they like fall asleep like under this little blanket, like in the middle of nowhere. And she wakes up and she's like, wait, what's going on over there? There's a guy filming us. And it's like a big shock of the movie. And it's already being broadcast like everywhere. And it's like
Yeah, it
supposed
was
to be
like live.
scandalous footage, like to ruin her like chances of being queen.
What a dirty little stay out, Mia.
Yeah, it was so weird because she's like, there's a guy filming us. Like, did you not get enough footage or something like that? It was like a really like weird, like dirty, like innuendo thing that I just didn't.
It was weird.
It was just didn't fit the vibe, but it still happened.
Yeah. Didn't like it.
And so we can't forget about Andrew because he's kind of like been gone for a hot sec. So all of a sudden he comes back and he like kisses her.
Uh really aggressively kind of.
Yeah, it didn't look like that was a fun time.
For either of them, honestly.
Honestly, yeah, I don't think either of them was fully enjoying it, but like it happened. Like it was broadcast on our screens. Like
Yeah.
yeah, not a fan. And so they don't call off this wedding, which can we talk about like why they didn't call it off?
Which is crazy because they already both had a conversation where they were like, yeah, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it either. But then they're like, we're still going to get married though.
Why?
Why?
It wasn't worth it. I'm sorry. It just um so it's wedding day. Big moment. Um it's just a lot. And also the son of the mother that was pregnant like is all of a sudden born.
Yeah, like very quick pregnancy.
Very quick. Like couple days,
Yeah, maybe like a few weeks.
maybe. Like it was insane. And I was like, oh yeah, she's back now and she had a son. And she also hasn't like a new husband.
Yes, her husband is her teacher.
Yeah, that was a
That was the choice.
It was.
I can't stop saying that now that you said that. Like,
Sorry, I say that a lot in my real life too.
No, I love it. I'm going to keep using that.
Yeah, I feel like I need to make merch with that. Like, I feel like I say that a lot in my episodes.
I love it.
Yeah, that that was a choice. And it really was. So, however, we need to have some wedding day drama for just like,
For the fun.
yeah, for the fun of it.
Mhm.
And so Joe is like, yeah, Nick's innocent. Is he really? Like,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm not sure about that, but she's walking down the aisle and like then she's like, wait, no, and then she like runs out, storms out on her wedding day, like Taylor Swift Speak Now vibes.
Yes.
And it's just it's a lot. We also have like the queen like runs after her and is like, you don't have to marry. Wait, then why? What?
Then why did you put me in this situation, Queenie?
You're the reason that like she's getting married in the first place.
Yeah.
Explain that.
Explain that, Clarice.
I love like when I address her as Clarice. Like I feel like it's like feels like improper, even though she's not a real queen, to like be like Clarice.
Yeah, it does.
It just it's a feeling. And so then it's like, wait, my grandma has like ruled over this kingdom and she doesn't have anyone.
Yeah. Why do I?
Yeah, and then it's like girl power, girl boss.
Yes.
And so it's a lot. And so it's like, we're not going to like force you into love. And it's like, oh, what's going to happen now? Like the whole plot of the movie has just been like thrown down the toilet bowl.
Yeah, no, literally, like the whole movie was a waste. I mean, it wasn't, but
It wasn't.
the plot
It
was.
served, but like everything.
Yeah.
And so then it like gets really weird because then like Nicholas comes up and he's like, yeah, my nephew should be the king.
Yeah, and he's like, actually I'm here and I don't even want to be.
Yeah, it was so weird. Like I thought Nick was gone. I thought he was done.
Joke's on you.
Yeah, joke's literally on everyone because he's always like, oh, I'm done. I'm like not coming back. And then he always does.
Yeah, he literally couldn't find a way not to come back. He had to fight to take a weird unicycle thing and then a horse.
Yeah. And so then she's like, let's abolish this law. People agree. And then all of a sudden it's gone.
Like,
but this is when it gets good because now we have a marriage.
Good.
Like,
because all these people are in a church. There's a whole thing going on and they're like, might as well put it to use.
Yeah, might as well get married. So Clarice and Joe get married.
Just out of nowhere.
I was here for it, though. I was here for it.
Me too. I wish we got more of it.
Spinoff, I'm sorry, should have happened.
Still waiting.
Yeah, I am waiting actually on that. So then we have the whole thing of, well, is this really gonna work out? Like, are we gonna have a coronation or not? Like, gotta have those stakes high.
Yeah, constantly.
And so Nicholas arrives as she's preparing, and then he professes his love for like the sixth time?
Something like that.
Yeah, and yeah, not my favorite little segment. But the next day is when the queen, Clarice, steps down and she's like, this is my last day as queen.
And then
Mia gets crowned queen of Genovia.
Finally.
She's not married.
Yeah. She doesn't need a man.
She doesn't, but Nick's still in the picture, unfortunately.
He is still in the picture. He was at the coronation, giving her the eyes, little wink.
Yeah. No. So yep, that's pretty much about it. We also have the little lady in waiting. Charlotte is on the parliament now with the little and they all put on their little wigs.
Loved that.
It's a cute scene.
She's enacting some serious change, Queen Mia.
Yeah, she is, because now and then she also opens the children's home.
Yes, that was cute.
I liked it. So we tied back in the children. Nick's still in the picture. Like everything was tied up nice with a bow. And then we got this little cute dog scene down the little mattress, like sliding like thing,
Yeah.
sledding, whatever we want to call it.
Yeah. Sledding, surfing,
Whatever.
whatever.
Whatever floats your boat. And that's it.
Great. All in all.
No, really. Now, my personal favorite part of every episode is the rating.
Okay. I have
So
to think about this.
I will go first because it is my podcast. So I feel like I should have like the inclination to go first. So I really think I'm gonna have to give this like a 9 out of 10.
I'm gonna say like 8.5 out of 10. Can I do
Yeah,
half?
it's so iconic. I'm not even gonna lie, I don't remember what I gave the first movie. I probably should have like written that down, but I think hot take, I might have liked this one more than the first.
Okay, so I kept asking myself this, like, honestly, the whole duration of watching the second movie. I was like going back and forth, because a lot of sequels are not as good as the first one, but this one comes really close for me, honestly. Like, they are both really good. The first one, obviously, is the first one, it's legendary, like, it's the start of it all. But then the second one, I feel like the budget was much higher. Like, we got a lot more out of this one. They really stepped up their game and it was just so good.
Yeah, they're definitely like very close. Like it's not like there's like a huge gap for me. They're like neck and neck.
No, yeah, I agree.
So I do have to say I do think I like this one more. Just the plot wise, like I feel like it kind of feels like more of a Matthew movie.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So I was here for it. An amazing soundtrack, Raven, like apparently Stanley too, like
Stanley.
obsessed.
So many good things. Also, I didn't know that it was like, I think it was like written by Shonda Rhimes, who does all
Yeah.
when I saw
What?
her names in the credits, I was like, hello.
Shonda Rhimes is an icon, and I will stand by that because I'm obsessed with like all of her work. Like
Like, no wonder it
especially,
was so good.
yeah, like what's it called? I was obsessed with it like 2 years ago, like right at the beginning of quarantine. How to Get Away with Murder.
I never watched, but I want to.
Oh yeah, hot take. I never finished it. I was obsessed with it, but I just couldn't like because I think when I like finished it, the final season like wasn't on there yet. So maybe like now I will have the motivation to go back and finish it.
Gotcha.
But great show, recommended by Matthew. Definitely not like DCOM Disney friendly, but like it's a
Totally
good show.
different vibe.
Totally, but like she slayed either way.
Wait, you know who else was in this movie? I don't know if you saw. I was shook. Do you know who Mr. Kate from YouTube is?
No.
Okay. I haven't really seen her in like a minute, but she's like a huge like interior design / home makeover whatever person on YouTube. Her and her husband, they used to do a whole series where they like designed a room or a house for other YouTubers. They were like everywhere a few years ago, whatever. But she was in the scene where everyone was giving like watermelons and chickens to Queen Clarice, and I saw her. I was like, what the hell is she doing in this movie?
Oh wait, I just looked her up and I do know who this girl is. I have not seen her in forever. Oh my god.
Me neither. And then when I saw her in this movie, I was like, wait a second.
That's so crazy. This movie popped off like beyond compare.
They didn't have to go that hard, but they did for us, and we appreciate that.
No, we really do. This whole episode is literally us just like praising this movie, and I'm here for it.
Same.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for giving me an excuse to watch the Princess Diaries.
Yeah, both of them.
Both of them.
And thank you to you and Allison for like getting me on this trend, because you know what? I don't think I could be stopped.
I'm so happy that you have joined.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be on this train. It already was moving, but like I think I hopped like right on, and I'm okay with that.
That's fine.
Where can my listeners like find your show? What do you talk about on there? I don't know if you've like told everyone.
Yeah, so my podcast is called That's the Tea, and I talk about just like all general pop culture things, like stories, and then just movies and music and shows and all that fun stuff. And you can find it anywhere that you listen to podcasts, and then on Instagram and just Instagram. I haven't really been using Twitter. Is just That's the Tea _podcast.
Yes, and I'll also link your podcast and your Instagram below in the show notes so that everyone can go subscribe, follow, do all the things.
Thank you.
This was such a great time.
So much fun.
And I am so glad that we made this work. Great
Same.
episode.
Thank you.
Thank you. And everyone can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all the places, TikTok too, even though I got locked out of my TikTok account.
No.
Yeah, I don't know what my password is too, and I don't know what like the email or phone number is. So we're thriving. But like you can still follow it at That's So Matthew. And hopefully I get back in there soon. And yeah, check out my website, that'smatthew.com, for all the fun stuff on there. And I'll talk to everyone again soon. Bye.